VP chat today. That's a Venezia Pinker chat. If you didn't figure out the initials,
That's not bad.
uh,
You can
yeah.
go you can go PV first, coach.
But VP is, almost sounds
Like your vice,
really,
yeah.
yeah, you're really important.
Well,
Like
not really.
Kamala Harris.
According to Gecko, there are 200 VPs at Teldar Paper that don't do anything anyway. So that title doesn't really hold much credence anymore. I was a
All
vice
right.
president at 26. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I
But
was
it's better than
president.
PV.
I was president of the He-Man Women's Haters Club when I was 8 years old.
Well, my
We
roommate in
were
college was it.
emulating
Yeah, yeah.
Spanky and his gang. Anyway, uh, I'm not like that anymore.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, Mike, we were talking just a few minutes ago,
Yeah.
and let me just say this is TradeGateHub.com, and you can catch Mike and I here every day. One of us is here. And we're powered by TradeView Markets, a great broker. Check them out. But Mike, you and I were talking about, we're going into the Fed, and it's a big number, and when you get days like this, like you had after the CPI last week, where one event, this was a candle, changed the whole picture and actually led to a breakdown, which I wasn't expecting. That it's uncomfortable for us as traders not to know tactically what we should do every day, but it's hard to know what to do every day, Mike. I know. And then, you know what? If we're patient enough, things will clarify. The dust will settle and we'll see things, right?
I appreciate we were talking about that, on air before that. It's just where I sit now, and it's a day-to-day process, and I can't wait to get, keep going at it. And it's never going to wane until whatever day I walk away or however the way I die. But it's the uncertainty is, yeah, the uncertainty is a little unnerving, and this is the cliche that I say 1,000 times. Trading isn't difficult. And I'm not going to beat ourselves up, but traders sometimes make trading more difficult than it is. And this is one of the things here. Going, to TradeGate Hub is the one thing that we can. I know the G word in finance is the ultimate sin, but I'm going to say we can guarantee you that you're not going to be short of ideas and any financial instrument across the board. More specifically, equities, myself, and the rest of the room, who are, by the way, getting there to a nice level, and yourself being, you're the coach, anything macro. So yeah, it's just, I just don't like going against my own plan. It's one, it's hypocritical, and two, it's a mistake.
It's interesting about today's action, and I had this black trend line drawn for a long time that I said, well, this is my line in the sand to be bearish. And the action with yesterday's short covering rally, is it a coincidence that these technical areas work and get retested? That's all we did was rally back to the breakdown, the trend break twice. And now we're trying to hold the lows.
Well, as I can, great chart, by the way. I mean, meaning, less is better. And as you can see at the XPU or the futures, they're holding this 38.50, 38.60 very sensitively as we're approaching this. Now we're talking about the 2 years driving my life. You know what I mean? I never thought I would say
Yeah.
that, but as it hovers near that 4%, it's either going to have that springboard. It's either going to blast through it, take out shorts, maybe settle. But it's set up for, and going to today's, the Fed meeting started, if you will. Tomorrow we'll get more where it's coming. But you know what I mean? Coach, I don't like using this word too much because it dries out the authenticity of it. But it is going to be binary.
Yeah, just like CPI.
Yeah, but it seems like this is what I said in TGH this morning. I look forward to the VIX being up here at 26 and the volatility, but even on, listen, now I'm going to get on maybe a boomer thing or whatever you call it, Generation X, but it's emotional getting where everything is drastically changing on a week by week basis right now with the world and the economy. It's, Biden said the other night along some NVAX winner that, COVID is over, but you know what I mean? That's now that takes a complete backseat and I just feel bad that week to week numbers are changing. Like you said, going back to that chart, it would be going back to even longer. It would be I could usually know every time what happened, going back probably 20 years, literally, what happened that particular day, why certain candles are there. Right now, even going back here from 2000 to 2000, look at all those red candles. You know what? I even said something today that there have been more 1% down days
Yeah.
since, like, I'll go back to TradeGate, but it's just TradeGate Hub in a second. I'll sign it, but it's it shouldn't be that drastic. The parameters shouldn't be that stretch on a week to week basis within the markets and with the economy. So I'll stop pontificating. But and the most uncomfortable thing to do, starting to wind this up, maybe this point, is that it is uncomfortable. You know what I mean? And I'm not, listen, my account's basically at the highs, and it should be with the long, the trading account, but the biggest trepidation all year, and the theme hasn't changed, is that putting long-term money to work is almost is unsettling more than what's going on day to day. So,
That brings me to a point. I saw a tweet that, it's been talking about the bearish sentiment we've been talking about, Mike.
and yes,
And yeah, and the point is, he said, well, that works in a bull market. But I never I never saw sentiment get that extreme in the bull market that we recently had all these years. And I could say this, you may not be able to use it for a 6-month hold, but it certainly has value for tactical longs when it gets there. What do
and
you agree with me?
well, I agree with you because your point is coming from somewhere, and obviously you're a seasoned professional and a mentor to a degree. Is that we've been the best part of TradeGate Hub this year has been our play on sentiment. For example, the beach ball theory that the market popped back when the shorts went up in whatever it was, late April or early May. And that's been the best of what we're doing, being tactical. You know what I mean? Everybody knows if you're on TradeGate or watching TradeGate Hub and watching the videos, it's either one or two things now. And I'm glad that it's either day trading or swing trading has not been the way to go. Look at that chart right there. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
so it was tactical to buy it here.
Yeah, no, and
And
and that was because
and
the sentiment, the,
yeah,
the the extremes that you were talking about back then in June were, it was the most bearish in history, where everybody was hedged. Everybody was completely off sides, and you could have thrown a dart there in that rally. Now this dip below here, it's different this time, and I'm certainly not getting even half as aggressive as I was probably even
back in
after the
June.
number comes out.
Yeah. And when we're talking about 41, 4,200 down here, it seemed extreme and
Yes,
even exceeded my expectation of 4,200 trading to 43.
me too.
I actually thought we'd put in a higher low. And you know what? We still can put in a higher low
Well,
above the June low.
you're gonna have to react, because you're either gonna have
Yeah.
to double down. Like, okay, I have some positions I'm down in, not egregiously, nothing, but they're not best of breeds, and that was why I reverberate back to my plan. So I'm gonna have to wind up, I'm gonna have to make a game time decision on a couple of positions. What even like something like a Square or a PayPal. I have PayPal, or a Nike that's in a fun position. Look, can you go to NKE for a second, Coach?
I'm going to give you the screen after I talk about this. I think that if
Okay,
we have
sure.
one more low, and I'm looking for about 3780, write it down.
I am gonna write it down.
If the Fed comes in heavy-handed, market doesn't like it, wash out these lows, and then I'm going to be looking for longs for a rally, maybe even back to 4,200 um, uh, after the Fed. So there are a couple things I'm looking at, and I just wanted to cover, since you brought it up in main chat, Mike. You brought up
Please,
Newmont, how it was getting hit hard today. But I just want you to notice the difference in
please.
Newmont on the daily. This was the earnings. It
Yes,
got killed, right? We had a confirmed low here.
I'm correct.
Then this low here, it did not confirm, but it was still under 30, not great. If we flush one more time, and it doesn't have to if gold gets back over 1680, I'll show it in a minute. Newmont's going to diverge above 30 this time if we go to 40. And that may not even happen if the dollar doesn't make a new high and gold
Right,
recovers
I got you.
this area right here,
Right.
1680. So, and there are a couple of other miners that aren't making new lows with gold, even gold, gold stocks like this one. Okay, it made a low way before gold made a low. got creamed last week. And look, we're just pulling back on BTG.
It-
And then, the white metals, and I learned from my guest, Dave Morgan last week, I didn't learn it, but a great expression that the whites go first. That means the white precious metals. And I have a question
Huh.
for me, for my account. But here's First Majestic, when silver was making new lows, it wasn't. And you and I were taught that, if we're ever going to have a good bull market in the bullion, the stocks have to take over leadership.
Pardon me, one of the first things that I ever asked you, if this I want to call it a saying, it's not an algorithm, it's not a mathematical algorithm, was still true. One of the first things I asked you when we got back on is does that still hold true? I know. So, I mean, I'd like to see that as well. You know what? I was very close to taking some golds last night. I'll share my screen if I may.
Yes, let me pull it back. So what I'd like to know from you, another white metal, Mike, and
Yeah.
I know you do some coverage.
Yeah.
If you were looking for a couple of uranium issues
Hmm.
to buy, what would be on your buy list? You've done the homework on it.
I have done the homework, and listen, and doing the homework it doesn't have to get as intense as knowing someone's, a balance sheet or birthday, the CEO's birthday. It's just, you have to know which ones are moving and which ones why. Usually the best of breeds are standouts, because best of breeds usually act well relatively to A, the market, and B, their peers. So let's go to some uranium. URA. I mean, let's go. I mean, that's the gauge, if you will. But the best of
Okay.
breed is CCJ by far. That's the uranium play if you want. There's no surprise in that one. That looks good. As a matter of fact, for the
Yeah.
first time today, I saw some options going off with that. And certainly, I mean, I don't know what you think about this chart, Coach. How would you rate this?
I'd continue to buy pullbacks, even if it pulled back, say we got hit, maybe your blue moving average. I'd have a
That's the
piece
50
on
day. Yeah,
now.
that's the line
I'd
in the
be
sand.
scaling in longs on a chart like that. And I think that double top's going to be taken out. So potential measured move would be in the 40s.
Well, there's a UEC, CCJ. There's
I
your
like that last one you have up too.
UEC.
Yeah, because you see how you have your first high in November, early November,
Yeah, of
and then
course
you
I
have
do.
your second high in March of this year. The pattern looks incomplete. I'd expect another new high in this one.
Boy, that's nice. You know what?
Above
You're
that
right about
high.
that stock. You know what? Besides your S&P target of Thursday 780, I can either go back and play press the red button on our YouTube channel and watch the video again. But I'm not going to do that because I'll write down real time Coach UEC. I like it.
Yeah.
I like
$7 is, as the world's going to have to make a switch adoption like Japan did. That's what sparked them a week or so ago. It's going to happen globally.
No, this is the
So
weekly. You know what? I wouldn't talk you out of that by any means.
yeah, that's a beautiful two drive to a top,
No, I
and
dig it.
I
Going
think
in.
there's one. I think there's one left.
Coach, you get the ultimate highlight, the ultimate compliment. The highlighter's coming out for the idea.
Oh,
Doesn't come
look
out
at
often.
that! I mean oh
Okay,
my God, I am
that's an idea.
honored.
I can either put 5 stars and waste time, or put this thing out. Good
I'm
idea.
honored and humble.
So
In my
everybody step in before I
extremely
buy.
accurate opinion, I'm very humble.
No, but there's my opinion on. No, it did get the highlighter. Seriously.
Okay.
But this is the opinion on uranium. I guess URA is the ETF or that's the
Yeah. Yeah.
so CCJ obviously is the best of breed, doing the best.
Yeah.
You can go to some coal plays. I don't know if I know that's not uranium, anything
So
like
anyway,
that.
the white metals turn first, then the yellow.
No, I'm gonna remember that.
And silver's already turned.
Well,
I don't see a lot of great candidate. I mean, the charts don't look great except for, that one I showed,
AG.
AG, yeah.
Well, you know what? As I said before,
But they don't look bad either.
You can either go in the SLV, which by the way is the white
Yeah.
ones, or you can go in the AGQ. It gets sexy and buy the triple ETF here in the dip or the gap.
Yeah.
And maybe if you want to say if you're buying 10%, you want, I don't know, you want to put 100% in a silver position. I'm not saying
Silver looks
100%.
better than the shares. Let me
Well, I'm
put
not
it
going to
that
say
way.
100% of your portfolio in the position, 100% of
Right.
your silver allotment. Put instead of doing that, put 25% in the AGQ. It's the same thing. It's a triple. That can move, man. That's a good, that's,
I'm looking for, if I'm right on this long-term scenario, I'm looking for over $60 silver.
there's the new get $60 silver coach, huh?
Yeah, 38 first, then 60.
All right.
And I'm basing that upon a lot of people for this fifth wave when it finally starts in gold are looking for 24, 2,500. And if the gold silver ratio reverts to the mean at 40, that would translate into over $60 silver.
Well, first of all, I appreciate the call, but I appreciate the call. Why? You explain yourself. I mean, that's, you know, I can't just say buying silver. The more
Yeah,
important thing is here's your high opinion, whether right or wrong, is why you're doing it. And that's really
right.
what we're here to coach.
Yeah, so you talk uranium for nuclear reactors and you need a lot of silver for solar, buddy.
Okay. No, no, no. I got you. All right. So let's go into TGH and get what's going on
Yeah.
today and where we
So
stand.
let's go to things that Mike is so much more active than me. So I mean, you want more trading volume and more ideas, and he has such a large universe compared to me. You may see me, maybe make a couple of trades a week or calls. I don't get that kind of, I'm not scalping day trading, but I'm looking for swings. So you come into Mike and every day, him in the room, they're active, man.
Yeah.
They're doing stuff every day.
Yeah, by no means are we scalping or day trading. I mean, well,
Yeah,
maybe we're doing some day trading. Is the couple of rules. I've never implemented rules in my 20s now, 6.5 year career. I have this year,
yeah,
two of them. And it's
yeah,
not because I got hurt. It's just because without rules, there's chaos. I normally would fire away and ask questions later. First of all, I'm never tapping. I won't do it. I'm telling you. I won't take overnights when the VIX is over 30, and I hope it is over 30. Believe me, like be living, forget about it. And I'm not buying any stocks under $4 anymore. You know what? Because I have to babysit them. These low float things, they
yeah,
have to babysit, and it just takes too much energy. Every morning I have to wake up or whatever, have or having some of the one of my guys put in the orders at four, in case it's a low floater, it's 4:10 in the morning. It's 50 cents higher in case it's just those low floaters. I'm not going to do. I mean, first of all, I don't buy anything because of a low floater, but usually they are in play, and when they do, when they die down, you're stuck. It happens. You know what I mean? But
yeah.
those are another couple of rules. But let's
I
get
did
back.
that with a silver stock recently. I
Did you?
already regret it. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
CMCV, I believe it is. I mean, they're still doing limited partnerships, but a guy I know on Twitter liked it. I figured, all right, I'll take a spec. And yeah, it's like you have to it's like making an appointment with a dermatologist
It's you
to,
know what
to see
it's
a
just it's
trade.
hard. Look at that trade. It's hard money, I'm too seasoned to I know where the easier money is. But I want to bring up first of all right here is this, and I did post it.
The Zoom
Where
community.
no, I think it was yesterday. Whatever. The Zoom. Oh, I'm on the Zoom. I'm sorry, wrong
Yeah,
guy. It looks like Twitter. I apologize.
it's okay.
Where was it? Thanks for your guide, Mike. You're welcome. Okay, let's go. You know what? I'll go back to the thing. I'm just so much going on. I'm more emotional than usual. Great coach. I'm glad everybody's following the trend spider chart. Great chart for equities. Gerard picked it up. Good guy.
Oh yeah, I know
Uh,
those guys.
I do.
Yeah,
Macro view. Kramer. He said this. I posted this one day ago. This is the
yeah,
theme. The darn 2 year at 3.9 is the absolute enemy. Posted it again this morning.
yeah,
As long as we keep flirting with the 4 year. So, like again, we have very high level opinions, and I do a base predicate upon that's what everybody is watching right now. I don't care if it's a crowded thought. Going into tomorrow's Fed meeting, it's you have to, or else you're going to either be blindly lucky or very very wrong. So that's where we're pointing. That's where I hate to use the word the action. That's where the focus is from everybody
yeah.
small to big. Something else I brought again. Watch you about videos with long Nike in the fun. So I'm going to go back to a chart. What am I going to do with Nike now? I was a hero. I was in the penthouse a little while ago with Nike in the daily. Hold on. Am I still sharing? Yeah. Come
Yeah.
on. I'm going to. You know what? I'm going too fast even for the computer. How's that for the old time? Hold on. I'm
There's
even
Tony.
going faster than the processor. That has been a long, long time. Hold on. New
Here it
share.
comes.
We're right here. Where are we? Yeah. Okay, let's go to Nike. All right. So Nike, the downgrade. daily. I went
Wow.
from the, ooh, that's not good. I went from the penthouse just like a week ago. It was 112. Then it got yesterday, it had a nice 3 days ago, it was 103. So now I'm up in the stock again to 107. It's a core holding, granted.
Right.
And now got a
The gap.
downgrade. So I'm going from 107 to 103. Now I'm going now. Now listen, the downgrade normally I wouldn't put that much credence in it, but you're going to into a Fed meeting and it's just not so I have to make a decision if I want to sell half or some or all into the Fed meeting tomorrow. So that's where I sit with the stock like that, if you will. All right. So let's
Okay,
go.
look, you want my view?
Yeah, of course. I'm not having any no.
I think it's going to take out the 97.5, 98 low and then be a buy.
Yeah, that's more than highly than likely. So that's where I sit with my liking.
That'd be like a 3-drive wedge type thing down there. You'll
This
have capitulation there. Yeah.
no noted, by the way. That's not going to get the highlighter, but I know it's going to. I'm in it already. That's why.
I know.
New,
Anyway, that I'd be buying more at new lows if
new
I was
share
a
noted.
long-term guy.
No. It's a long-term position. I'm not going to lose
Okay.
sleep. TLT. Lewis asked on the TLT chart. Here it is.
I mean, I'm so tempted. I thought that they were turning last week, but
Here's the
this
TBT.
interest rate move it's tough. I mean, there might be something tactical after the Fed tomorrow to try something because the yen is not keeping up with yields. And normally with yields making new highs day after day successively, you'd be seeing new highs in US dollar yen, and there's still double top at 145. So I'm actually looking if we have some type of stop hunt in the yen over 145 to try short there. So that would say, for me to be right, yields would have to come back in for at least a correction. But the overall chart is hard to
I
fight.
I I think it's when they break. It's just a matter of if they stay
Yeah,
and stay.
right. So there might be. Remember a week ago talked about that there were negative cycles in the market until early October.
Yes, that
Okay,
was our
well,
prediction. Yeah, sorry.
we're only a week away from early October now, a week and a half. So maybe, you just scalp around. And I thought that might be the next important buy window in early October. So, we could, build the case by then, right?
Definitely.
Even more bears, more
This
divergences.
a
You know what
million.
I'm saying?
Add more
It,
divergence.
it,
Yeah, no, I'm
it
trying to.
always takes time, when the pros are accumulating, they'll take them down so they could keep accumulating
But
them
you know what,
until they
coach, you
turn.
can't if it's you can't afford. I can't afford to be wrong and then worse off after the meeting. You know what I mean? I can't stand
I know,
being down in a hole and treating like a wizard to get back even. I can't. I just hate it. You know what I mean?
I know. I've done it 1,000,001
Yeah,
times.
I know you have. Here it is.
It's
IWM,
exhausting.
Cheddar Flow. They all follow it. $1 million out of the money call in the VIX.
Yeah,
All right,
VIX looks like it should try 29 again here.
let's look what the
It
wise guys are doing. Riven calls, blue bullish. Bottom, I want to show something right here. This came at 17 minutes ago, which is not favorable for the bulls. All right, this is the CTA position tracker and the ESP minis. First of all, they're still underwater, or at least, they're almost flat to a degree or short still. But I didn't like the fact that when we came in earlier, this was the beach ball effect because they were most short or even underwater the futures ever. But you know what? They made a nice bounce here. And then the last time that the CTAs, started covering or buying, this is what the market did. So, that's not as bullish as it was before. You know what I mean?
right in June.
They're not offsides to a degree by any means, if you will, especially where it's just that's disturbing to me. I'm not making a market call. As I said, I have to be reactive more than predict,
Right.
but
Yeah.
that's where we sit.
So tomorrow's the day. I mean, we're just kind of mentally preparing ourselves for it and have some areas in mind and doing some book squaring. If you don't want to take any risk going into it, I understand. To me, it's roulette. Like, it's a black
But
or
I'm
red
not,
bet.
I don't, and I look, I'm not really a casino gambler, but I look for edge and that's with the edge. But you know what? There have been good tactical plays. There have been the new stocks that have been leading. They haven't been the best of breeds. But if I go to the screen, I post them every day.
Some
Stocks
nice
like
head and
Uber,
shoulders. Right.
Yes,
It's
stocks like
developing a
Uber
right
has
shoulder.
with
Yeah.
all uh moving averages scrolling up, if you will, and it's been above all the moving. Not only that, it's been a good trading stock in the right area. LVS was a stock, same situation, above all the moving averages,
Looks good.
scrolling up. And this is where if you come up the queries, and I have queries, stocks that trade over 1 million shares a day above the 200 moving average, that's had decent, maybe 1%, 100% of its volume list, boom. And which punches up? LVS has been one of them. Uber's been another one of them. What other stuff? I don't even want to look at my screen right now because I'll get CHPP, the battery, another one that's been acting very well. Asan, well, actually, that's been that's been holding up well above the moving average. NIO, and the best one
That
of them
looks
all
good.
is Tesla.
Yeah.
That is the
It's a
best one
breakout.
of them all. I don't know what Tesla's going to do, good, bad, or indifferent, but man, that's it. Another one that's
That's like
acting
a
good,
cup and
Tesla.
handle.
It does. Netflix has been acting very well above the
Yeah.
850 day. So there have been stocks where you can have, some the XBI has been actually pretty tradable. PDD, best of one China stock has been trading above all the moving averages, moving in the right direction. To those loses on Riven, still acting well on the day-to-day basis. So there have been
That's
stocks.
Lewis.
Run. Everybody knows I'm in that one. I have to freaking
I don't
decide what
know.
I'm going to do with this now.
Yeah.
Sunrun, another one that I like, and it's a best of breed, if you will, holding very well above every moving average. EMPH, another one. Everybody's a crowded trade, but it's still hanging in there on the flag. Plug Power, SPWR, I love it. Still hanging in there well. So there have been some stocks that have been holding some nice relative strength, which, by the
Oh,
way,
yeah.
is a little bit bearish to me because it's still getting back to your theory of the 3780. It makes it even more palpable. No.
Yeah.
There's too much complacency, have evidenced by the VIX. Still, I don't think it's elevated
It's
by
only
any
around
means.
80 handles from here. You
Yeah,
could
no.
do it in a
So
day.
no, I mean, you want to play relative strength. You go to stocks like Tesla. You go to stocks
Yeah.
like I pointed out, before EMPH, LVS, Uber, United.
Those are the ones you buy if the market gets slammed by the Fed.
Yeah, well, the whole place has been predicated upon the buy the green, and that's been very
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Microsoft and Trump. So listen, this is a
Yeah.
dichotomy.
Ugly. Yeah.
Microsoft, okay? I mean, what are you gonna? I mean, there's no surprise there. What everybody knows and owns a Microsoft. Yet you look at Google, still can't even a bear flag here. That's one.
You're not following through much after that breakdown.
No,
That's all I
Apple.
could say.
I just
Apple, I mean, it had one more wave down than I thought it would have.
here's the chart on the Qs. You know what I mean? Are
Yeah.
people going? I don't think it's. Listen, it's not fear of underperforming anymore, which is why that rally before had really gone with everybody being under positioned or you know what I mean, coach?
Yeah.
So now
People are
and
playing defense now in
that's
a big
correct. There's
way.
not there's
Big
not
way.
any fear of underperforming because that nice move we made a month or whatever it was 2 months ago let people reposition like myself. I lightened up a lot. Now it's now people are anxious, but I'm not nervous, you know.
Okay. And Mike proving Kramer's point, you could find a bull market. There's always a bull market somewhere.
At least we're not but at least
And
we're
you,
not biting people's noses off. It's like any
yeah.
nose,
And I think, listening to what's going on here at tradegatehub.com can be a bull market for you. And you could learn, and we're not upselling you. Just come in and share your work, ask questions, and if you'd like, compare TradeView's spreads to where you're trading now. And Mike, you're a horse owner. You only know if you have a good racehorse if you run it against another one, right?
You got to run them.
Yeah.
They're not. Listen, you have a demo.
Yeah.
They're like I own racehorses, right? They're expensive. You got to run them.
Yeah.
Obviously, the number one, the tantamount thing is the equine first, but I'm not going to pontificate. Is that you have a demo, fire away. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? You have capital or something, scale back, but get in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Your learning curve will be just dramatically lowered by listening to us or even going by doing this every day right here. Boom. Right here, or all videos, our playlist. And you know what? If anybody doesn't think to be contrite that we don't have anything to gain, I've been on here a half an hour, and trust me, with the swings that I even look in the corner of my eye, I'm having a 6-figure swing, and believe me, I don't think we have enough viewers where we're making 6 figures a month at this point. So we're sacrificing a lot for the greater good. I'm not being a martyr, but we've been here every day for 2 months, 4 months, 6 months, 4 months, 12 months ago, when we're not going away. And this is not some Rocky Balboa thing. It's just we're committed, and we're committed to the plan. We're committed to what we know, and we're committed to the process. And if you do too over time, it's going to make you a better trader.
Okay, so you can't learn experience, but you can learn from the
No,
experience.
you got to be in it. You
I
got to be in
believe
it.
that. Yeah. Mike, good hunting the rest of the day. I'll see you tomorrow after the fireworks.
Yeah, I'll be here before, during, and after. And
Okay.
nobody can tell us we're short of.
So will I. My stream will be prior, but I'll be around. And you want to know what we're thinking? Check out our main chat at TradeGate Hub. See you tomorrow, buddy.
You got it, guys. Look at the chart on Tesla. We got to leave off with that. Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway, thanks for the team, Coach.
Leon
Thank you again.
Musk taking off in a rocket ship again. All right.
All right,
See
guys.
you
Have a
later,
good
buddy.
day. Have a plan and trade well. See you after lunch as we are at 11:23.